Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dennis and Grass Monkey Lawn Care here. Thought I'd shoot another episode of the Shop Talk series. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Hope everybody had a great day, all you dads out there. Hope you guys got to enjoy the day off, spend some time with your kids, your family, your loved ones. I did the same thing, took the day off, just kind of hung out with my parents, hung out with my daughters, spent some time at the house, just kind of chilling out. Didn't really do anything too crazy, so it was a good day for me. Hope it was good for you. This video here is kind of want to hit on this topic of when to have a helper and when not to have a helper. If you guys have watched one of my recent videos about me being sick, kind of a short update on that. I mean, I'm still not 100%. We're sitting at about 65 to 75%. And as far as getting back to that 100% level of me feeling, really, really good. But, there's a comment on there that made a lot of sense to me. It was by Blades of Grass out of Savannah, Georgia. And basically the comment was, his argument was always, based towards why solo guys should always have a helper, being the fact if, like, say you fell ill, or had an issue, like a family issue, emergency, or you got injured, having a helper kind of will help you either get caught back up, allow you to get your accounts, to where they're not falling too far behind if you were to get sick, a day or two. And it made a lot of sense, and I understand where he's coming from on that. Because what happens, like say like you get sick and you're out for like 2 days, and let's say you're mowing 12 a day, and then let's say it's you're gone Monday and Tuesday, and now it's Wednesday, so now you're 24 yards behind, plus if you have that 12 more, so that's 36 on your plate to get done, and you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And what happened if you schedule a landscape job Saturday? You're in real big trouble, because that's, I would say, impossible to do by yourself. Because no matter how good your route density is, well, if it's Wednesday, you have to start on Monday's list, and if that's 12, but even if your route density is really tight, so you knock out Monday, and let's say you get 3 more yards into Tuesday, so you still have all those yards from Tuesday, and now you got Wednesday to do, but it's Wednesday currently. See what I'm saying? So like you can be a domino effect real quick, and then that job you schedule for the weekend, now you have to call and tell them, like, unfortunately I can't do it this weekend. It's going to have to be the following weekend, and now you have a somewhat frustrated customer. You might have one that goes, hey, no problem, I understand, but either way, it's an inconvenience for them. So having a helper, that's a situation right there where it would come into play. You better knock out a ton of yards very quickly, get caught back up in half the time. Wouldn't be stressing out as much as far as, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? What am I going to do about the customer on Saturday? What if the phone rings and you got 2 people or 3 people want estimates either on new accounts for lawn mowing or landscape job, because then you're freaking out. You're like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, I'm so far behind. Because then you're not really thinking rationally. Like your wheels are turning, but you're not thinking in a positive light. You're in that zone of just freaking out. Like, what do I do? Like, I can't take on any more work. Like, I can't do this, I can't do that, and you're throwing money out the window. Let me tell you, I mean, I did have a helper. He worked for me for about a month. Didn't work out too well. Here's some of the issues when you do have a helper that came up for me, was being late, not listening, attention to details, busting up my equipment, and then just pride in what you do, just wasn't there. That's something you can't have in your business. If you're trying to run your company at a high level and that there's a lot of competition around, because I could pull up to one of my accounts and there's competition to the left and to the right, and I'm not gonna lie, those guys do a damn good job in those yards. So you gotta, be on your game. You gotta make that yard look better than what they did. You gotta be reliable. You gotta be dependable. So he was helping me basically 2 days a week, on my heaviest days. And then what we would do is we would cut ahead on my busiest days. So we were doing like 17 yards on those days, getting ahead, because I was trying to get all my stuff done in 4.5 days or 4 days, so I could free up Friday to take on additional work. I was trying to be proactive in my business, so if the phone rang, I could schedule things and go, I can be there on this date. I could be there on that date. I wasn't pushing people out, a week or two. I was giving them a firm date, a date they could, feel comfortable with me getting the job done, especially if you had these customers that were in a hurry to get something done. Let's say their house is going on the market and they need it done quickly. You could schedule it with confidence. So there are a ton of benefits as far as having a helper. Everything that he said in that comment made total sense to me. I'm currently actually looking for another helper. I know next season what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking probably in February, getting someone, on board late February to early March, getting them in the truck with me, setting my expectations, with them very early, getting them on the accounts very early so that they know and we're in a rhythm by middle to late March. Um, that's the only way you can really grow it. Paying people, giving up that total control, it is hard. It's not easy, seeing money go out. But you got to remember, and this is hard for me to wrap my mind around sometimes, is, seeing the money go out. But when you're doing that, you've got to have, confidence in yourself and in your business that you can make it up by taking on more work, landing the bigger landscape jobs that are paying you a ton of money, picking up, 5 or 6 more additional yards to cover some of these expenses. There's ways around it. I'm figuring that out. Like I said, sometimes it's hard to rationalize the cost, and then actually see it visually, and then you're thinking another thing. So it's difficult, but I think it is a necessity. If you're doing like 5 to 7 to 8 yards a day, maybe not as much, but once I think you hit the threshold of like 10, it's a good time to start thinking about adding that helper in. It'll make your life better, quality of life better. You won't be as tired. If you do get sick, it's easier to get caught back up. You'll sleep better at night knowing that you have that ability, and that if something was to happen, like, you can feel comfortable knowing that you will get caught back up very quickly. Or if the phone rings, you have the ability to feel comfortable with taking on more additional work. It's just part of growing. It's a growing pain. I'm finally starting to understand that and realize it, especially after this last episode of being sick. It was horrible. I mean, I don't wish that upon anybody, being out in that heat and then trying to get things done. It just actually makes it worse on you, because you're not getting any better, actually making it worse on yourself. So having that helper actually would have cut your day, 2 hours maybe here off your day. You could have got home a lot sooner and felt a lot better, not being out in the heat so long, and you could recover quicker. So I'm a firm believer in it, guys. It's like I said, I'm just starting to learn and figure that out. You got to kind of open your mind up and see the bigger picture and see outside of what your tunnel vision is, and expand your horizons and look at the bigger picture. So that's my thought on it, guys. That's my video on the shop talk, is adding the help and when not to add the help. Like I said, I think once you hit the threshold of 10, you should start pursuing it. If you're below that, it is what it is. But new guys starting off, I mean, you got to build it first, get it growing, and then you can start seeking out that. I mean, I wouldn't say start your business and then you pick up 20 yards and then you're like, I need a helper. And that's not what I'm saying. You got to really think it through. But you got to start from a foundation and then build from there, and that's how you kind of expand it out and grow it. So, as always, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for all the feedback on all the videos I just posted recently. Greatly appreciate it. All the people wishing me well as far as getting the field better. Thank you so much. If you guys like the video, thumbs up for me. If you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe, guys. Thanks a lot.